right, on the agenda this morning, prints. We're gonna go out. Need to focus on feeling good. Had a crazy day yesterday. I was jamming with a friend and she accidentally tripped over a chord and my guitar fell to the ground and it broke in two. She was so sweet, she went and got it fixed, they're gonna glue it back together. But yeah, I don't know, I feel like sometimes in life I'm tested to see if I can practice what I preach, if I will keep my energy and positivity high. A lot of times obstacles come to really test our character and where are we in life, how are we doing? Because it's easy to stay positive when there's no adversity, but how do you go through life when there is adversity, The universe mirrors back to us the energy we send out. So we gotta work on our energy, girl. We gotta stay high vibe. We gotta dress like the energy we want to put out in the world. We have to speak. Even if things are going poorly in our life, we have to speak very positively about it. Someone says, how are you? I'm great. Things are going great, no matter what, because they are. Even if it seems like they're not, the obstacles are there to always help us grow, to always help us learn a lesson. It's either a lesson or a manifestation or a blessing or all those three. Yeah. And that is mental posture, honey. Do you feel like in your life you're being tested right now in any way? How is she going to react? Is she going to be reactive or is she going to stay calm in her energy? And now my letter's not working. Son of a bitch. Shayna. You don't have a man. As I am working on my prints, I was inspired to share with you something that I wrote in my journal recently that is uplifting me on days when I feel tested. The universe is a mirror. It reflects your energy, not your wishes. If you radiate gratitude, you attract abundance. So remember, keep going. Focus on what is working and keep making your life magical. Always remember your energy is contagious. Storms arrive to test the roots of a tree, and the universe rewards depth, not speed.
They stop and stare cause I'm the ITGIRL.
Do not dim your light.
Voila.
The old you no longer exists. It dissolved in the fire of your courage. Because the truth is that your legacy isn't what you leave behind. It's what you awaken in others. How you feel and how you make others feel will always be your greatest currency. Okay, Lisa from Rhineland in Germany, you're my last print of the day, which means you get extra kisses on your envelope. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay, and we're done. I finished up that task. It took me about an hour or so. Now I am going to move on to my next art task of the day, which is working on my upcoming book. So I am a DIY publisher. I do everything myself. And I'm basically building this book by hand, like a zine first, and then scanning everything in. And I actually got the first proof in the mail. I'm not going to show you guys the cover because I want it to be sort of a secret. But there are some issues. There's some things I want to fix. There's some things that look really good, but I'm going to show you guys some of the pages because basically I'm spray painting stuff. I'm doing it in a very Riot Girl type way. Okay. So the good, the bad, the ugly. So this page I think looks really good. This is a collage that I made. It says a girl is a gun because I wanted to make the illustrations that way. I wanted to collage them instead of drawing them this time around. Obviously I love to draw, but I just thought it would be kind of cool. So that looks really good, I feel like, this page. Pretty happy with that. I also think this would be a really cool poster in someone's wall. So it's a poetry book, mostly text, and I wasn't sure if it would look good to write the poems by hand, but I think it does. Like, it's very legible. That was the one thing I was worried about. I was like, when I print it, will it be legible by hand? But I think it is, and I also think it looks pretty cool with the pages that are spray painted, so that's something I'm definitely gonna keep. Something that isn't working as well. Here's another page I think looks good. Something I'd say that I don't like as much is some of the scans from my art journal are very like gray, and I prefer when it's more high contrast, so that's something I need to work on. So yeah, this was more like a test to see how things are going. I always love when I have an idea and I can actually see it come to life like that. It's very cool to have the object in your hands, and I just hope it can be an encouragement to you guys if you're also working on something, that it's not because you are self-taught that you can't figure it out. Like, there's other alternative ways of learning how to do something. I didn't go to school for bookmaking, and I'm actually super thankful to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, because a lot of the skills for zine I've learned through their online classes. So if you guys don't know, Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives. They have thousands of classes on there, from audio production, I took their singing classes, as well as, you know, even if you wanted to start doing YouTube, art, if you want to get into zine making like me, there's a class on there for you, whatever your interest is. And they also have these really amazing learning paths. For example, when I first started doing singing classes, I was also really interested in learning about mixing and mastering and audio production, so I could sort of add that onto my music learning path. And these days, like I said, I am taking their zine class to help me with my book, so I feel like I can really adapt to whatever creative project I'm working at the time, and it just feels like it's not limiting me, which I think for my wellness as a creative and sort of my mental health as a creative, that's very, very important, to keep that sort of mental posture and knowing that I am not being put in a box. So if you guys are also like me and you want to expand your creativity this year and turn your I wish I knew how to do this into I actually feel empowered to do this myself, then I would definitely recommend Skillshare. And they're actually offering the first 500 people who use my link down below a 1-month free trial. But like I said, it is only the first 500 people, so make sure to go check that out. Thank you so much to Skillshare for supporting this channel. I cannot recommend them enough. So yeah, I am going to, I think, go down and get something to eat because it's almost 4 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything yet today. I mean, it's kind of normal for me because I pretty much intermittent fast. I eat like around 4 or 5 p.m. every day, but still I feel very, very hungry. Let's go get a croissant. I love how in France everything has its own shop. There's the bread shop, the chocolate shop, the cheese shop. And now to the flower shop. I want to see if they have any lilas. Bonjour. Est-ce qu'il vous en reste des lilas? Non? Oh mince. Ah, c'est tout beau pour le Saint-Valentin. C'est incroyable. Ok, mais vous savez quand vous allez le recevoir, les lilas encore? Ok. Après le Saint-Valentin. Ok, bon, merci. Au revoir. Je crois que c'était celui-là que je vais... got back from the store and I thought that I would do for you guys a little old-fashioned grocery haul, just because I think it's interesting to see like the pricing differences in different places that you can live. For example, when I went to Iceland, so expensive, the groceries. And I remember doing a haul there, and I think maybe France will be a little bit less than the US. So all of this costed around 16 euro. First, I'm having a very healthy day, as you can see. I got my little chips, because then I'm going to be working late tonight, and so I just like to have like a little pick-me-up at some point. Banana. Okay. Greek yogurt. Trash bags. Okay. This is probably the most expensive thing I got. It was like 5 euros. If I am having like more of a busy work day like I am today, I will get something very easy that I can just put in the oven. Yeah, I have an oven now, okay? So that's my dinner. Petit pois et carottes. So peas and carrots. You gotta get your veggies in there. And I got some moisturizing cream. So all that for 15 euros. That's it. That's the grocery haul. Oh my gosh, I also got this giant letter in the mail, and whenever I get a letter like this, I always get so nervous because as a small business owner, I feel like it's always so scary getting letters like this. And I'll tell you why. It's because last year I had like a very traumatic experience where when I started publishing my books online, when I started doing my journals and everything, I didn't know that I had to declare that under being a like prestation de service, which basically means a service that I'm doing. It's not considered usually like selling merchandise. Like even though it is a physical object, since it's sold online and I just upload like the PDF, I'm not selling it myself. I don't have to collect income tax on it, or not income tax, sales tax on it. But the government didn't realize that it was through KDP that they were collecting taxes, so they sent me a letter saying I owed like all of these like sales tax, which I didn't, but they had sent that letter to my old address, and so I didn't get it, and so they just basically, when they finally reached me, told me I owed like a huge sum of money, which I didn't owe because it was already paid for by the website that takes care of sending out the books. So basically, when I publish a book or a journal, I make it, I design it in a PDF, it gets uploaded, and then they take care of the shipping, they take care of the rest. But yeah, that was like such a headache, and so whenever I get like a sort of official looking mail like this, I'm always like, fuck, what now? Like, what do I have to deal with now? And I will say that that is one of the pitfalls of being a sort of DIY bitch, like sort of a DIY person figuring things out on your own, is you're also having growing pains with administration at the same time. For example, I am declared as an artist, but also as a small business owner, because you can't sell your paintings as a small business owner. You have to have the artist statue, which is good in a way because you get like special opportunities. For example, a lot of grants are only offered for if you have that artist statue. But like imagine as a foreigner having to deal with all that, and like sure, I could hire someone to help me, but then that's a lot of extra money. And I feel like a lot of times people, when they're starting out in a business, they don't necessarily have like all this extra money to pour into getting legal help. I mean, I'm sure it's worth it, but you know me, I'm always like, I'm gonna figure it out myself. Yeah. So anyway, I ended up figuring out that drama. Last year I had to like go back and forth with a lot of emails and being like, what the fuck? But I don't know, I feel like when you are ambitious, you also have to deal with the system, which is used to normal type people who do have a regular job. When you're someone that does books, paintings, prints, YouTube, oh my gosh, don't even get started with YouTube. Like, the government does not understand like what a YouTuber is, you know? And so that's definitely, I guess, like one of the pitfalls of being an artist that does multi-dimensional things, that is also entrepreneurial, is you really like have to learn about the laws and all those things, and if you don't, you just end up paying for it, or it's a lot of stress. But yeah, it's funny because, you know, I talked about in the beginning of the year, in the video, like my guitar breaking. I've mentioned now that, you know, in the past I've had issues with my business not being understood. But all of that has taught me, I think, and the big lesson that I take from that is there's always going to be an obstacle. There's always going to be some sort of adversity. And so we have to get really used to being able to keep ourselves cold-blooded during that time. I think when I was younger, I was a very like emotional roller coaster type person. Like if something went wrong, I'd cry. Like I imagine in the past, if that would have happened to my guitar, I probably would have sobbed. But instead I was obviously like, oh fuck, that sucks. But I think I really am proud of myself that I generally am able to keep it cool, because the way that I feel is the most important thing to me, and I don't want my feelings to be governed by outside circumstances. And I've worked really hard on becoming mentally strong. Like even if I seem, you know, it was funny, I was watching my old videos recently, and a lot of the comments were like, oh, she reminds me so much of Luna Lovegood. And it's like, yes, I do have that very whimsical side of myself, but I've had to learn to be, since living in France, and also, you know, starting all these business endeavors, being an artist and trying to live this sort of lifestyle that is different, I've had to learn to also be very mentally strong. And that's something that I'm really proud of myself for. And I think that no matter what, I know I'm going to be okay, which is, I think, like the best gift ever. I think, you know, storms arrive in our life to help us grow. What's that one Elliott Smith lyric? Or maybe it's a Bright Eyes lyric. I don't know. It's like, your eyes have to do some raining if you're ever going to grow. And I think that that's so true, that in life, every time that I've been faced with an obstacle that seemed really difficult, every time I was like, oh, like, you know, even with doing YouTube, you know, like, you never know if you're gonna get a sponsorship the next month. Like, I had one in this video, which is amazing, but, you know, it's one of those jobs where you have to just really roll with the punches. And I think that sometimes these sort of, the unknowns, being lost, is one of the best positions to be in, because it will move you in another direction. For example, this year I started really getting into my art practice again, but that was also coming from a place of like not feeling good last year. At the end of last year, I didn't feel so great. So I realized, like, okay, I don't feel good. What is this telling me? This is going to push me in a new direction. And I realized the necessity of painting in my life. I realized the necessity of certain things, and had I not had that period of sort of feeling down, and you know, feeling a bit of restlessness, I don't think that I would have been moved in another direction that makes me happier. You know what I mean? So I think I always ask myself when something arrives, what is the reason for this? Because I truly believe that everything that happens to us is an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to move in another direction. Even before I moved to France, you know, I was very, very lost. Like, I had done 2 years of schooling, and then I decided to move here. But I really moved here on like such a whim of, you know, okay, I don't know what else the fuck I want to do, so I'm just gonna move here. And it's so funny, you know, like you can hear me going out today, living my little routine now in France. Like, this is a life that I built for myself because I wanted to do something different. And that desire to do something different came from a period of struggle. So I think that no matter what we're going through, we always just have to say thank you for all the obstacles. Thank you for the obstacles, because sprinkle, sprinkle, like everything's working out for us. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm gonna eat. Okay, I should tell you guys, I don't have like a croissant and chocolate like that every day for breakfast. This is like Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so I was doing a little special occasion. But yeah, I'm gonna have my lunch and then I'm gonna start working on my book or painting. I was gonna film all that, but I feel like as it is, this video is probably exceptionally long. So maybe I'll save that for another video when I have more to share. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was just like a very realistic day in my life. Like I'll work on something in the morning, go out for a little bit, and either continue to work at night or maybe I'll go out and see friends or something. But I think that's another thing that people really don't understand is like when you decide that you want to live a life where you're doing so many different things, you don't necessarily have a lot of free time. And so you don't have a lot of time for bullshit. You know what I mean? Like you don't have a lot of time for anything that isn't like enriching you or bringing you up. And I think that priorities are really important to me, you know. And so, for example, I might not see my friends all the time, but when I am with them, I'm very present with them and I want to give them 100%. And yeah, so anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling now because I like spending time with you guys. I mean, we could eat together, but I mean, would you guys like that? What am I in the mood to eat first? Kind of like the yogurt. I think after that chocolate, like a nice little yogurt would be good. Okay, we could do it. Fine. I'll share my yogurt with you. I'll be right back. Also, I know you guys want to see a house tour, but like there's one last thing that I really want to do before I do the house tour, which is my bed is on the floor. Yeah, it smells great. My bed is on the floor. I kept trying to tell myself like, no, it's like Japanese style, but really it's just because I do have a bed frame, but it's downstairs, and when they shipped it to me, I thought someone was going to help me bring it up. Again, my fault. I should have done my due diligence on that. But they just left it at the door and I literally could not get it upstairs, and so I just dragged it down to the cave. The cave is what they call it in French. It's been sitting there for like a year, so I really do need to bring that up. But I really love the home that I built for myself. I was crying the other day because I was watching my old videos. Sometimes I'll watch old videos to be like, and I'll just not recognize myself, especially like my voice. I feel like I used to have like such a high pitched little voice. Or sometimes I'll watch my old videos and I'll be like, hi you guys! I think it was that era of YouTube, like that was very performative, and I think it takes a while to be comfortable in front of the camera. But yeah, in one of the videos I was talking about how I was manifesting like my dream home, and I never thought that I'd be able to like live in a place that was my own. And now it's just really cool to have that documented, you know. A lot of times you think, oh, I should be spending my time writing a book about my experiences, but actually I think that documenting online is a really worthwhile endeavor, and if you guys ever wanted to start a channel, I would definitely recommend it, because for me, I think that it's sort of subversive in a sense. Like it's sort of, it's just recently that it's become not embarrassing to be a YouTuber. Like it's cool now, I guess, to do like social media. But when I first started, like I got made fun of so much, you guys. It's not even funny. Even like some of my teachers made fun of me. Okay, just one teacher. Oh, this is so good. So on that note, I think like what is cool will always be changing. So just do whatever you want now, because you'll be cool in a few years. Your turn to talk. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here. Okay. Look at here, my neighbors. I have new neighbors. They change all the time because it's an Airbnb. So like every 6 months they change. Anyway, I'm gonna end the video here. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next Tuesday. I'm posting every Tuesday now. Also, if you guys want to get a print from me, I will link that down below if you're interested in getting paintings, and supporting what I do. And also I think like my prints are really cool because they have like a poem in the back, and also I'll kiss the envelope for you. Also I have journals, I have a podcast that I also link down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Love you. Bisous.